crystal bar necklace, you'll need crystals, and you'll need about 16 of these crystals. These are faceted rondelles that are about 2 millimeters by 3 millimeters. You'll need wire for wire wrapping. We're going to use 26 gauge. We recommend that, and we chose a silver color. To go with our silver wire, we have chain. We used a very fine chain for this because it's a delicate looking necklace. We have two 7-inch lengths. This will be a short necklace. You can make these as long as you want them to be. We also have a silver clasp. We have 2 silver jump rings. And then for tools, we have chain nose pliers, wire cutters, and round nose pliers. To get started, we cut a length of wire, and this is about 4 inches of our 26 gauge wire. And we're going to bend a loop in the end of the wire using our round nose pliers. So to do that, I'm going to come in about 1 inch from the end, and I'm going to bend a 90-degree angle in the wire, like that. Then I'm going to reposition the pliers and take that tail. I'm nestled in that 90 degrees. Take that tail, I'm going to bend it over the top of my pliers, make a partial loop there. I'm going to reposition, put the lower jaw in the loop there, and finish pulling the wire around, making a complete loop. See that little loop there? Now we can feed the end of a piece of chain. This is our 7-inch piece of chain. You can make your pieces of chain as long as you want them. I'm going to feed the end of that onto the wire. It's very fine chain. There we go. And rest that into our loop like that. Now I'm going to take the round nose pliers. I'm holding the loop, but I'm holding it across now. So I'm holding it across the loop so that I can take this tail and wrap it twice, once and twice around the neck of the loop. That's called a wrapped loop. Then I just use the wire cutters to cut off this little tail. I use the flat side of the cutters and just snip that right off. And we've got half the necklace done. We just need to feed on our crystals now. So we have 16 of these pretty little rondelles I'm dropping. And these are faceted rondelles, which is nice because they have a lot of shine. All those little facets give the light something to reflect off of. And you can make these, you can make this necklace in any colors you want, with any kind of beads you want. We've made them with pearls. Make sure the holes in the pearls are big enough for the wire. Pearls sometimes have smaller holes than regular beads. We've made them with bicones. It's also fun to make them with different colors and stack them. Where's that hole? There it is. So you can make a little set of these, maybe a turquoise one, and an orange one, and a green one. Make each one a little bit shorter. Just cut your wire, or you cut your chain a little bit shorter. And then when you wear them, they'll stack. That's really pretty. This is our last one. And it's looking good. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side that we did on this side. I'll flip that over. We will make a wrapped loop with our piece of chain in it. So to do that, I'm pushing the beads down tightly. We don't want a gap in here. I got the beads pushed down tightly. I'm going to take our round nose pliers again, and I'm going to bend our 90-degree angle, reposition the pliers, make half the loop around the top jaws, reposition the pliers, make the rest of the loop. Don't forget to feed on your chain. That does happen. Make your complete loop and start doing your wraps. Realize you forgot to put on your chain. So there's our chain. Let me just snap that into the loop like that. Now we hold the loop across with the round nose pliers and take our tail around twice, once and twice, to make a wrap loop, and then cut that little piece off. Don't cut your project, but cut that little tail off. And that's our crystal bar. Looks so pretty. Now the last thing we need to do is put on our clasp. This is a little screw clasp that we chose because it's very fine, and this is a fine little necklace. We didn't want a big horsey clasp on it. And we're going to attach it using tiny jump rings. So the first thing we need to do is open the jump rings. And to open a jump ring, you want to use 2 pairs of pliers. So I've got the chain nose pliers here. I'm holding the jump ring so that the cut in the jump ring is facing up. It's right here in the center. And then I'm going to take another pair of pliers and I'm going to grab the side of the jump ring and push it away from me. I'm kind of opening that jump ring like you would open a gate. I don't want to open it this way. That would change the shape of the circle. Instead, I'm just making a little doorway in it. So now I can feed the chain, end of the chain, onto the jump ring. It helps to keep holding onto the jump ring like that. It's so tiny, trying to hold it with your fingers is tough. So I'm just going to keep it here in the chain nose pliers. I'm going to feed on the end of the clasp. And now I can use my pliers again. Grab the other side. It's getting crowded in this little jump ring now. I'm going to grab the other side and close that door by bringing it back towards me. And I can use my flat chain nose pliers also to sort of press across the jump ring just to make sure it's nice and closed. So there's one side of our clasp. And now we'll do the same with the other piece of chain. We have our tiny jump ring. I'm going to rotate it so that the opening is at the top here. Where's that opening? There it is. So the opening is there at the top. Almost. It's so little. And then I'm going to use the other pair of pliers to push half of it away from me. Let me grab it down here, more precise. So there's our little jump ring. It's open. And I can feed on the end of the chain, just like we did before. Actually, it went easier before, but there it goes. Got the end of the chain on there, and then I've got the other side of the clasp here. Feed that on. And then you can use both pliers. I think actually the opening is so tiny I can just press across to close that back up. Make sure it's nice and closed. Still circular, which is nice. And that's the clasp.